Hey everyone, Michelle here. Okay, so thanks for all the great feedback and connecting, and all of you that have subscribed to my channel. I am so enjoying this, and I just was inspired to do a pick a card, just a quick one for the energies in June, what's coming up in June. And those of you that are astrologers or follow astrology, we have some major aspects coming in. And we've had quite a few retrograded planets. I won't get all into the astrology of it, but a biggie that we have was when Uranus went into Taurus. So it's really about grounding what we've learned, what we've let go of. When our Uranus was in Aries, we all were letting go of stuff that no longer served us or did not reflect our true sense of self. And one of the ways that we know on the soul path is what's right for us is by resonance and coherence. Is the situation or the person or the relationship or the decision having more resonance for us? Does it resonate more? Does it bring more life-enhancing energy? Is it uplifting? Is it coherent? Which means, does it connect to the heart? That's where we find out coherence. And the heart is the seat of the soul. So the heart is the way to the soul path. It doesn't lie. Our mind can change, our mind can be influenced, but not our heart, and actually our gut knowing as well. So I wanted to do a follow your heart reading. I'm very much into hearts, and I find them everywhere. In fact, yesterday I was meditating at this retreat that I've been at, and I did some yoga, and during my meditation, when I opened my eyes, I saw this leaf on a tree shaped as a heart. So go ahead and start looking. We're just going to use two cards. We're going to work with the energies of what's opened up for the full moon. And also we have Jupiter in Scorpio, which is going to be opposing Uranus and Taurus. So it brings deep desires and dreams. So I'm actually going to shuffle and just keep looking. You might already know. You might be saying, oh, card on the left side. This is, I'm going to say, is card number one, or card on the right side is speaking to me more. And then again, this is what's coming up for you in June and how to best use the energies of where you're at. Because, you know, people always write or say, oh, go with the flow. And honestly, what that really means, it doesn't necessarily mean creating your own flow. It's what's the flow of what is. What is the energetic flow that's happening? And I always say sometimes our flow is fast, sometimes it's choppy, sometimes it's slow. But the flow is always going to be what is in alignment with the universal flow, right? As above is so below. Whoops, can't get this. Yes, yes, yes. And if you do have suggestions or readings you want me to focus on, I've actually got a few more that I've done that I haven't posted yet. You can email me at awakeningspodcast@gmail.com. Some of you have actually listened to the podcast. Okay, so I'm setting the tone, what I call this the grounding energy. So one of the ways that these work, obviously with my intuitive and psychic channeling ability, but with the cards, it's based on synchronicity and symbolism. It's about reading the signs. And so if you're guided here, you're guided by the directive of your higher self. So now we're going to look at this. Let's see. And we've got one more little here. Let's see, we're going to shuffle there, and I'm getting, oops, go back, and there we are. Ooh, those don't want to go in quite yet. Okay, there we go. So I always like to say, you know, reading, it's also prep to where we're at or what we're going to. So just look at this as which story unfolding is resonating most for you, and trusting your own inner guidance to be drawn to the stack, the set of cards that most calls you and what we would say most resonates. And what I like to do is actually look at the cards with my eyes. So I focus on them with my eyes, right? Even if my eyes are, you know, sometimes I keep my eyes open, then I close and I see which one draws me in. So if you focus in the forehead, right in the sixth chakra, and then take a couple breaths And as you breathe out, bring your awareness into the heart so that you start seeing from the heart. You can even envision a heart right in the forehead, right between the forehead and between the eyes and the bridge of the nose, or you can see like a ball of light, and then let it drop into the heart. Feel your gaze, feel your focus drop into the heart. And whichever stack your heart seems to open more to, that's the one that's right for you. So we're going to get out of the mind, right? We're not going to think. You could start with the thinking, and then you're going to drop in, because whatever the heart is leading you to is the one that's going to have the most resonance for you. And again, this is what's coming up for you in June, and how to use the energies of June. There's a lot of releasement. That's one thing that I've been getting, is there's a lot of releasement. So let's look at the first pile here. Okay, so we've got the Sage of Crystals, which is similar to the King of Crystals, but it's amped up a bit. The Sage of Crystals, King of Crystals, or King of Swords, King of Air. It's about using the mind. But the Sage here is saying, it's also ruled Aquarius. Speaking of Aquarian age, or Uranus, we have Uranus and Taurus. This is saying this is the male aspect of going out into the world and using your mind. So I feel those of you that picked this pile, this story unfolding, it's a lot about accessing more of your male energy, or the energy that wants to go out in the world, or wants to create, wants to put something into form. But this is also saying be open to more air signs, perhaps. Gemini, right? Libra, as well as Aquarius. But it's, again, the male aspect, so it's an active time. And so this is telling me maybe it's time also for you to, let me see, what am I getting here? Like spiritual or philosophical salons. Stretch your mind more. Be around different people. I feel like you're going to be attracting people that you might say you normally don't attract, or maybe don't vibe with, that are different than you. And this is because it's about stretching your mind. You've got Einstein here, right? So I call Einstein thinking. It's about getting out of the routine or the everyday thinking, getting into the possibilities. Einstein, the inventor, creates something new. Now you've got the King of Ariel here, which is the King of Disc. And again, these are two masculine energies coming here. So it's really connecting to what we call the divine masculine within. Whether male or female, we have a masculine energy as well as feminine energy. So something wants to come into fruition, to ground. So how can you ground your inner knowing, your wisdom, and make it viable? For some of you, this is going to be about work or career, and maybe getting more to the business of things, being a little more earthy, maybe saying, hey, I really want to manifest this, or I really want to put this idea into form, or I need to be around people that are doing that. This says your inspiration is coming from doing something different. So let's see what else is coming. And then we've got the clarifier there. Okay, again, look at this earth and this male energy and balance. So this is telling me, if those of you that chose this pile here, this story unfolding, is maybe you have been a bit too etheric, airy-fairy. Maybe it's time for you to put some of your ideas into form or into action, and also to share more of your knowledge, more of your insight. And it is saying for you, June is going to be a lot about balance. Are you balancing your energies? Also having faith and hope in, for some of you, it's going to be a better future. Some of you, I'm seeing new job, new career coming in. Some of you are attracting that partner, and it could be more of a business partner. But the male energy is telling me, if you've been waiting for something, now's the time to take the action. So let's see what the clarifier is. Aha, strength. Okay, so you have the strength to do it. And if you don't feel that you do, what can you create? What can you come up with? Who can you connect with in your life that maybe is an example of living how you want to live, or manifesting what you want to, similar manifestation. This is about the manifester. This is about putting things in order. This is about taking care of the body, taking care of the material plane. But again, there's balance there with temperance. So it's not at the exclusion of what is emotional, or taking care of oneself emotionally or spiritually, but seeing that not only your material manifestations, your material possessions are forms of spirit. Everything is spiritual, right? Everything is consciousness. And so how can you follow your heart? Okay, here's the compass. The way to follow your heart this month is to know that you have the strength to do what you need to do. And again, strength also reinforces balance. So some of you might have been imbalanced, maybe too much emotional energy, too much hibernating, or too much being, out there, go, go, go in the world, whatever that is. But the key for you right now in following your heart and knowing that you're making the right decisions, going towards the right situations, is by connecting with the knower within you. The wisdom. You're the sage. Maybe even working with crystals. This says it's not, if you've been hibernating or letting things gestate and you've been feeling that, okay, now is not the time, or I need to wait longer, I need to know more. This says no, you know enough. It's time for you to step out on your own. It's time for you to speak your truth. It's time for you to connect more to the magic and the mystery of life. It's time for you to use your mind, use your intellect, right? Think about it, but think about it in the way from a higher perspective. Think about things maybe from more of universal law. Think of things in the form of, I am the inventor of my own life. What do you need to change right now in your life? What do you want to integrate? You're inventing your story. This is your storyline. The way to follow your heart is to create more of what you want and what you want to experience right now. So go for it. Go do it. Know that you have the strength, you have the will, you have the tenacity right now. And this is about big changes. This is about, okay, I have this dream, I have this idea, I'm going to go for it because I know what's right for me. So some of you, I feel you've been in indecision. You've been uncertain about a person or a situation or life direction, or maybe there's something else that you're wanting to experience more fully in your life, or maybe you're wanting to make complete changes and you've been, I'm not sure, I don't know. There's indecision. This is what connects you to the knowing. Meditation, journaling, working with your dreams, being guided to readings like this. Connect with that knower within, and then act on what it is that you receive. Act upon, there goes my little heart. Okay, let's look at this one now. Aha, 5 of Cups, disappointment. So this pile, which is interesting, this stack here, this storyline, there's been some disappointments in, I feel, relationship, but I also feel for some people there's been some disappointments on their lifestyle, their career path. There's some things that you thought were going to manifest that didn't, or they didn't manifest in the way that you wanted. Some of you, I'm very much hearing that you moved. There was a move. Some of you, it's a career choice, a job, and now you're going, oh my God, it's the same emotional crap that I went through before. It's the same. But it's 5 of Cups. There remains 2 that are up. So use this disappointment, use your disillusionment to see what remains. That's going to be what is less of the ego and what is more coming from the soul. Sometimes we learn not just by what it is in life, but what it isn't. So sometimes we try certain situations and we go, that's not it. Oh no, or that's a replay of what we went through. So your disappointment shows you either not right now, not the right person, not the right situation. There could be delays. This is of an emotional nature, so it's something that you wanted to do, a dream, a desire, something you thought would bring fulfillment. And some of you are saying, how long? There's what we're going to see by the cards, right? How long until I get what I want? How long for that relationship? How long for them to reconcile or come back? You've been living with this disappointment, but what I want to share with you is focus on what remains. This card says things can bounce back. Things can come back around in a different way, a better way. But you have to grieve. If you go to my website, soulplayground.life, I have a wonderful section on soul path tools, and it goes in how to grieve bereavement, loss, grieving, how to use the energies of what's been left behind, essentially, what remains. So disappointment, but what does that mean? Aha! What did I say? I love it, I love it. The Magician. Okay, so there's both male. This one's coming more from an intellectual, mental point of view. This is coming from the emotional. What are our emotions? Our energy and motion. It's our desires. It's our passion. So you've had some upset. You've had some disappointments. Like, God, I really wanted this, or I love this person so much, and they're gone. They left me, or I left them, or they passed. Some of them, I feel that there's actually been someone that's passed on, is on the other side, that's saying, don't give up hope. I'm here with you. I'm here with you spiritually. I'm here through your actions. I'm here through what you love and what you enjoy doing. So remember I said, take what remains. This is what the Magician does. The Magician works with what is. The Magician takes a less than ideal situation and makes it more ideal. The Magician realizes, I create my own life. I create by the decisions that I make. This is the card of, I've got a lot of lemons and I make some really good lemonade and I make it my own, so I put some ginger and some agave in it, okay? So this is saying, be the magician in your own life. This is showing you're going to manifest what you want. The Magician is one of the, I love the Magician card. It's about action, but also the Magician knows that everything comes, and here's representing the chakras, everything comes from source energy. So that lover that you want, that soulmate that's a life mate, the friend, the collaborator, that job, whatever you want is coming from source energies, is coming from God, the all that is, infinite source energies, coming from the innate intelligence of the universe through people and situations. So the Magician is the ultimate channeler. This is like when you paint a picture or you create a poem. All the good artists know that, wow, I just tuned into something. I work with a lot of bands, a lot of musicians and artists and actors and people that you know and see on television, and they all say the same thing. The song just wrote itself. The album just wrote itself. The painting, or I wrote that play or that script. I had an idea and then it just came through. So the way to unclog your energy from past disappointments is to connect in with your creativity, your self-expression, and to see everything from one source and know that if that disappointment meant a relationship is no longer there or an individual's not in your life right now, it's going to come through in another way. Okay? Know that you're the Magician. This is about harnessing what impassions you, what brings you emotional fulfillment. Okay. Wow. Okay. So this is saying, no, stop being over here in the disappointment. Don't let it get too swampy. Acknowledge it. Work through the grief. Honor yourself. Take some time out, to be gentle on yourself. But Knight of Swords, get moving. Do it now. Whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, start now. Pronto, pronto. No more asperete. No more waiting. That's in Spanish. No. And the Empress, another card of fertility and creativity. So here, this is very interesting. You've got the Magician, which is the male energy of taking action. And then you've got Empress, whoopsie, just did on my, which is about something new is about to be birthed. It's about recognizing that you do have abundance, that whatever is leaving is coming back, maybe the same person but better. Maybe it's a job that you let go of and you move on and it gets better. So the Magician, remember, is taking the less ideal and making it more and more ideal. So you have a situation, you make it more and more ideal. You're always with the Magician energy. You're always up-leveling, getting more and more soul expression and soul experience, getting more into the magic, the mystery of life. Okay? This is saying do it now. Don't wallow in the emotions. Use that emotional energy. Use your past disappointments. Use your what remains. Some of you may be finding, I'm hearing, some of you are finding new love here. Use that energy to create. It's all love anyway in various forms. Here the love is manifesting through ideas and invention. It's manifesting through the mind. Here it's manifesting through the emotions. But it's all love. It's love is the unifying force of the universe and of course of the world. It's the binding force and it's the unifying force. Everything is either an extension of love, an expression of love, or a cry for love. The Empress is the feminine energy. So this is saying balance the magician with the Empress. Balance your male energy with the feminine energy. Be okay to be receptive. Let yourself receive. So this is saying don't just do. Maybe you attracted relationships in the past where you were the giver or where you were over giving. This is saying let things also come to you. Initiate, put some action, create, do some creations, make some decisions, but then take the time to receive or draw it into you. And then here's the, whoops, can't pick it up, qualifying card. Aha, another shaman. Okay, so we had the sage here, the shaman of wands. And this is saying, again, the shaman energy, similar to the sage, it's the next up, it's the up-leveling of what we call in the traditional tarot the king or even queen, shamans and priestess. The shaman is the intermediary between worlds, between the spiritual and the material, and sees that the material is a reflection or manifestation of spirit. Look at all that red there. This is saying you got the passion, the fire, the desire. No more waiting. No espérate. Do not wait. You know some things you want to do. I don't care. Take a chance. Magician takes risks. This is saying you have the energy. You have the know-how. You've learned from these past disappointments, right? And look, again, male energy here. So this is a balance. You've got the male, the king, or the knight, rather, knight of swords is also male energy. So honor your wisdom, acknowledge your wisdom, and use it. Maybe for some of you, this is about teaching others. Maybe there's some courses or classes that you've been wanting to do. This says do it, go for it, don't wait. I see for you big changes. So those of you that chose this story, this unfolding, this soul path unfolding, your soul is saying, expect movement in June. Some of your desires of what you wanted to have happen, to make happen, you're going to be drawing to you. This says work with LOA, the law of attraction, which I call magnetic attraction, which means how do we attract? You don't focus on the law of magnetic attraction. What you focus on is what resonates, what brings you the most energy, what brings you the most upliftment. When you're focusing on what brings you the most insight, inspiration, passion, makes you feel good, remember your heart opening, then you start attracting. This is the abundance. The Empress is abundant. 3, she works with expression. It's the feminine energy of drawing in what you need and want, having all that you need and want. You draw it to you. The Magician says, I am a conscious creator. I create through my awareness, through what's consciously right for me. I know that all comes from consciousness. So this is clearly saying, put some things in motion, take a risk. You're going to be making decisions in June, but whatever it wants. Some of you, this is the return of someone in your life, and they've changed. Somehow they've grown. Maybe they were the King of Wands, and now they're the Shaman. They've gone through their own initiation. They're the Magician, and you're the Empress. So for some of you, June brings a pairing of this relationship. I feel this, I'm going to go back to stack number 1, what I'm hearing for June. This is a lot about work and about collaboration, and this is a lot about your soul tribe and connecting on a group level. And maybe those of you that are already partnered, there's something that you're wanting to do together. As you've also got the page of or knight, brother of earth, rather. So again, that male energy of grounding and working. This is birth in its own way, but this tells me that this is already something that's established, something that, that you've been working on already. And this is about the strength and the fortitude. This also, I would say, with number 1, to go back, is to open to your animal guides, open to your animal spirits. Maybe some of you have a dog or dogs that you're close to, maybe cats. What are the animal beings that are calling you? I think it's Ted Andrews, the book Animals Speak. Maybe pick that up or take a look at it, or you can look online, because that's going to give you another dimension of how to keep that balance. And for some of you, June is going to be a bit of a testing time, meaning that you want to avoid extremes, but you do want to bring in hope, but you don't want to be overzealous, and you don't want to be like just all in your head. You've got to take this knower that I know and put it to action. For pile 2, for stack 2, this soul path story, yours is a lot about action, right? And connecting, I want to say, more with plants and the energy of fire. Maybe do a ritual, light a candle, get a red candle or an orange candle. What ignites your passion? Okay? So the following your heart, okay, for this one is letting go of the past. And that doesn't mean forgetting about it, or what it means is what we call as spiritualists and alchemists is you're going to transmute the energy. You're going to transmute it. You're going to transmute the energy from stuck, stagnant, disappointment, slowing energy, focusing on what's missing. You're going to transmute the energy into creativity, into movement, into joy, into following your passion. In other words, whatever's left, whatever's on the table, get passionate about it. Get into gratitude about it, okay? Because there's 2 cups that remain. Follow your passion. Whoever this person is that's returning to your life, it's a very passionate relationship. This could also bring in soulmates or soul tribe energy, but I feel really that's coming in with story number 1. So I would say for this, which is interesting, namaste here in the orange, what is going to bring your passion is following your spirit, because that's what the red is, right? It's the wand. And here it is, Shaman of Wands. This is healing of the heart and knowing that you have the courage. Another word for strength in this context is the courage. And that 11 energy brings the balance of also the male and female, the balance of life. There it is, temperance is also about balance. So this one is to connect with your spirit, your spiritual energy. This one is to use your own compass, right? You've got dragonfly here, follow the magic. And this one is tapping in. You see the moon there. And you see the darker energies here in the card, the darker colors. Is what do you know? Go within and ask yourself, what do I know? I know what I know. I know what I want to do. This pile, I don't want you to say anymore, I don't know. I don't know what I should do. I don't know what I... Yes, you know. You're the sage. You're the wise person. Make what you know your reality. Make it work for you. This one, I feel. Let your passion guide you. This one, use your inventions, your innovations, use your mind to connect in with the mind of the all that is, the divine mind. What do you want to create? What's that new direction? What do you want to write? Creating here and connecting with like-minded individuals. Following the magic here, right? Follow the magic. You're the magician of your own life. You've moved past the delusion and illusion of emotional disappointments. You're coming out the other side. Somebody's returning. Someone's coming back into your life, and they're on fire and passion. And I feel like you guys are going to do shared projects together. There's some shared projects. Could be something in TV, film, videoing, the magician, right? Photography. That it's Neptune. The magician is that Neptunian energy. This one is working a lot with the Aquarian energy. So you've got the Aquarian energy here, which brings in new groups, new directions. You've got the Piscean energy, which is faith, hope, spiritual connections. This is connecting on the mental realm, making what you see in the mental realm, what you think, making that into physical form. What do you feel over here? What do you feel? What you're passionate about, and bringing that into form. All right, my loves, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this brought some insight and awareness. I sure got some insight and awareness myself from this. And more to come. And again, if you want to connect with me, every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time, I host Awakenings with Michelle Mache. And you can also contact me through soulplayground.life and awakeningspodcast@gmail.com. All right, and continue to shine your light, share your insight, and of course, keep awake.